Montreal Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what is probably going to be considered the final episode live on YouTube for Season 5 of the Curfew Boys before a brand new NHL season takes place for the Montreal Canadiens and Habs fans all around the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are listening to us live on YouTube, thank you. Please click like and subscribe. It is absolutely free. We are also live on Twitter, also known as X. If you are a first-time viewer, thank you so much for tuning in. Please give us a follow and take part of any Montreal Canadiens conversation that happens on Twitter. Lots of entertainment that goes on that application. As always, all of our audio episodes are available on platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I am Sammy. I am with my cousin Chris and the bass man Zook himself.
Hey now.
Oh, how you guys doing? Happy Thursday, August 28th. End of August. That means training camp is slowly on the way, fellas.
Is it? So it looks like the Habs are training now more than they would had done in training camp last year. And it's not even started yet. Or it feels like that. That's for sure. I'm not sure if that's the case.
And you know what? I really think the general consensus, not just amongst Montreal Canadiens fans, but hockey fans everywhere, and probably analysts around the NHL are for sure taking notice that the Montreal Canadiens young core players are getting together, and it's something that these teams should be cautious of. Like, really.
I had a hockey junkie. I love just free shout out to Hockey Junkie, one of the best hockey channels, has great Montreal Canadiens content. Had one of the funniest quotes, but most accurate quotes. I haven't seen young guys like this train since Rocky IV. So it was but seriously, especially with Demidov, the Drago comparison, maybe a little smaller, more Slavkovsky like, but it's insane to see these young guys out on the ice. Ivan Demidov today out on the ice at 4 p.m. on top of the morning skate.
Him and Reinbacher. Him and Reinbacher. Yeah, well, because tonight, like I said, August 28th, Thursday night, there's also the Lane Hudson event that's taking place where he's challenging Paul Byron, Patrice Brisebois. So I'm sure the guys were there for that too. And, while the ice is available, but this is just an example. Ivan Demidov, his work ethic level, it's definitely gone. It hasn't gone unnoticed by management. Like even Kent Hughes joke saying like I have to force him to get off the ice at times. So it's nothing but great signs for the fan base, for the team, for management, for the coaches. Like this is it's unbelievable how these guys are getting together and literally putting in the work. This is how you build a winning cultural mentality.
There's no doubt about it, Sammy. But is this the first year that this is happening? Like, we don't know. Maybe it's because this year there's more media surrounding the Montreal Canadiens, with the rebuild crew around, cameras, a lot of cameras around the Canadiens, I would say the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's an effect of that, or are they really taking it to the next level? I hope it's the latter. Like,
I think it is. We talk about the young kids like Demidov, Lane Hudson, and now even Reinbacher. Right. Guys, Patrick Laine, too, deserves all the credit in the world right now. He's on the ice every day with these kids. He's on the ice every day, and that to me just tells me this guy cares. He's found a new love for the game of hockey, especially with the Montreal Canadiens now. They've welcomed him with open arms. If you haven't seen the documentary yet, which, by the way, brand new episode out on Crave
I saw it this morning.
Very, very good. I really like. I love this season so far compared to last season, and I love how they're integrating the Laval Rocket into the episode again. I won't go into detail of what exactly happens, but you will see portions of the Laval Rocket that just Marty just giving another one of his Martyism speeches and dropping F-bombs like it's out of style or something. I don't know, but there's nothing but good signs from here. So I went Tuesday morning to Brossard So I had my night shift, had my coffee, had breakfast at home. Then I'm like, screw it. Let me go to Broadside. I had been putting it off for like over a week. I see guys on like fellow Habs podcast pages and all that on Twitter going, and they keep posting videos and all that. So I was like, you know what, let me go. And so what was pretty cool was, I mean, recently, the last couple of days, it's all forwards, defensemen that are getting together. Jakub Dobish is there. Sam Montembeault isn't there because he's part of the Team Canada orientation camp for the Olympics, right? Suzuki's there now. Noah Dobson is there. So it's only Jakub Dobish that's there amongst the Montreal Canadiens goaltenders. And when I went Tuesday morning for 1 hour and 15 minutes, it was the forwards. And amongst the forwards, it was Patrick Laine. There was Jake Evans, Zachary Bolduc, Ivan Demidov. I think Sammy Blais was there. I think it was him.
Sammy.
I'm not 100% certain. And Kirby Dach was there too, which was also important. And as the days have gone on, and you see practice videos of like guys that are there that are posted, like his skating is looking a lot better. I was going to
ask you. So yeah, so you being in person, did you notice anything regarding his skating? Because that's the only thing that he lacked, in my opinion, was that. Even last year, towards the Christmas party, his hands were showing. It was just skating.
Dude, you know? And I don't think he was skating at 100% intensity, maybe to be careful and all that. But I think you could tell, like I saw videos of him like previous days before, like you could see he's a bit rusty. I think when I went, he was shaking off the rust, and apparently these last 24 to 48 hours, like he's actually skating a lot better, it seems. So, and then once they were done, then the defenseman came on the ice, and you have obviously Leighton Hudson, who's on the ice before the Zamboni even got off. You have who else was there? David Reinbacher was second to get on.
Beautiful.
You have Caden Gooley was on the ice for the first time, and guys, honestly, like his wrister is.
Yeah, it's insane.
Caden Gooley's got a shot, man, and if he could utilize it a little bit more throughout. Who else was there? Jaden Struble was there. Alexandre Carrier was there too. So the guys are putting in the work, man.
You said it, Sammy, right? Kent Hughes is drafting based on that mentality, work ethic. If you notice, all the kids and all the players as of his reign, if you will, they're hungry to learn. They're hungry to skate. They're hungry to be coached.
Oh, yeah.
This is something that like Montreal Canadiens did not have, let's say, 10 years ago. You know,
nope.
There would be one player in the summer who would stay. Would be usually the guy who was just drafted, you know, and we would hype it because he was staying in Montreal. He would be in concerts at Oshiaga, and then 2 years later he's traded. Like this whole thing is changed. You know what I'm saying? Like
brutal but accurate somehow,
right? But like it's definitely a change, and I'm loving it, man. It's no pun, with McDonald's.
But it's
I'm loving it.
I think you would usually see these kids come train at the arena in Brossard like mid-August. Like this has been going on since end of July, almost beginning of August at least.
Yeah.
So it's nothing but encouraging signs, and not that we're going to talk about what we're hoping to see, but it's just I don't see this team starting off slow. I really, really don't. And I know I sound like I'm jumping a gun here. There's still preseason. There's still training camp. But just you can't tell me that these kids aren't hungry to pick it back up after this playoff run. I don't care if they lost 4-1 in the series. You can't tell me these kids aren't fired up to continue from where they left off.
It's almost like they have to come out strong.
Yeah.
If not, it's going to be like, I think alarms are going to be ringing, which I don't know why, but like I'm just saying, even Nick Suzuki, I think, said they're aiming to come out strong. And now you see even like analysts on RDS are saying that they need a really strong start, not preseason, but season, strong season. Yes. I don't know. Lately, the last couple of years, they've had terrible preseasons. I don't care about that. I'm talking about starting the season, winning a good 75% of the, first 10 games.
Yeah.
That's what has to be done, And I think it's possible. Like you said, they're coming from, sorry, Chris, they're coming from, playoff run, if you will. And they need to take that next level, which they're already on a higher step than they were last year. So
1,000%.
there have been so many people too that have been saying that the Canadians are going to take a step back, and it seems as though that's made its way into the locker room, or been a memorandum that's been shared
That's a good
amongst the
point.
guys. Because even Patrick Laine came out right and said, "Don't worry, we're going to
Yes.
qualify
Well,
for the
that
playoffs
right there you
ahead
go.
of time,
my-
and it's not going to be
Yes.
like a last minute entry type of thing." I think they have a chip on their shoulder still.
1,000%.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Genuinely surprised.
Love
I think
it.
There's something that has to be addressed at the same time, guys, because the Montreal Canadiens, I know that Detroit got better. Buffalo somehow got a little bit better. I don't see how people even come close to saying Toronto got better, because they really didn't get better. Again, so Detroit, Buffalo, Ottawa got better. Yes, there's going to be a little bit more competition, but even if you just take the defensive core of the Montreal Canadiens, we got so much better. Like I don't know how they're going to take a step back, and I think the guys are insulted. And so all that to say is, these guys are
Yeah, I
skating
agree.
full speed. They're making their passes like crisp and getting the shit out of their system, because I'm telling you, come training camp and come preseason, they're already going to be flying. And God help the first teams that they're going to be playing against, because this is chip on top of a chip, on top of motivation from what happened last year, on top of exciting young rookies, on top of new blood coming in on the blue line. Fuck, man.
So
Anyway,
when I
that's all I have to say about that.
I don't think anybody can say it any better than that, Chris. A little detail I saw Tuesday morning was, so when you go into Brossard and you go into the lobby area that's in between the two ice surfaces, where I was sitting, at one point they were on the further half side of the rink, and they were practicing. They do 3-on-2 drills, man-to-man coverage drills. And there was a play where, like, 2-3 plays in a row, Patrick Laine, he fumbled on his puck handling, fumbled on his passes. And, like, after the third time, like, he skated away from his teammates. He took his stick and, like, he didn't smash it on the glass, but, like, you could tell, like, he like a nice knock on the glass, like, out of frustration. And that, to me, showed me that this guy
Get in there,
cares.
baby.
He cares about wanting to be better. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't buy any of this nonsense that he's lazy, he's this, he's that. He's like, no. I also think, dude, a couple of times his skating, like, even though it's practice and it's not 5-on-5 or something, you see him skating, you're like, wait a minute, where the heck was that last year?
He had to be injured. He had to.
Of course, he was injured.
1,000%.
He, on top of being injured, it seems as though his heart is really settled here in Montreal.
Yes,
like,
I think
when
so
you guys said newfound love for the game,
there you go.
Return to the love that he had for the game. Like, I didn't feel that last season. I thought like he might have been a little excited, but then I think that knee injury just kind of like took him out emotionally. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
I
oh my
tell
God.
you, I would not bet against Patrick Laine this season.
I'm
says
not.
in the freaking episodes, I don't know if it was in episodes 3 and 4. I haven't watched them just yet, but all that to say is he said, "Don't bet against me." And
well, I remember when he said that during the season. Yeah, it's only one episode came out so far, Chris. So there's no episode 4, but no, 1,000%. So there's no episode 4. There's episode 3. I loved that interview that Pat like he's just there. He's like, yeah, no, we're no longer going to be that team in the mix. Like, we're making the playoffs, and like he said it with such confidence. That's like, don't fucking test me in what I'm saying. I listen, I don't care, bold statement or not. This is what you want to hear from the guy,
Sammy, because, like, you know what it is, dude. Like, psychologically speaking, though, right? It's like, I'll give you an example. When you go into a job or your work where you're comfortable, it's as if there's that shield that's off your back, so you could do what you want to do at the fullest. If you could do that, it's like why not make the playoffs? If the whole team is cohesive, they know what they're doing, the plan, the coaching is on par, all that is moving forward, then why not say that we're making the playoffs with certainty?
No, 1,000%.
And I feel like a lot of players have that feeling now. Like they really do. They feel the vibe. They're living it. They are it, basically, and that's what's going to happen.
I liked how Chris said that maybe these guys are taking it personal, that some people are saying they might take a step back a little bit. And
I don't see why they would regress.
Well, I mean, I think I could understand where the concern is coming from, because you have no Armia, you have no Dvorak, and you have no Savard too, which were,
Fine.
especially Savard on defense. You know, he was like a key role model for the young guys too. And you're gonna see it in this new episode. You see a little moment that David Savard does. I think Yoel Armia, you're talking about, okay, well, who's gonna replace Armia on the penalty kill and like the bottom line scoring that him and Jake Evans were doing. And then even though Christian Dvorak only got better towards the end of the season, everybody's there saying like, well, he was our best face-off guy. Who's gonna take his place and take those defensive responsible face-offs in our own zone when they're important, right? So I think the concern was that, but we got to remember one thing, guys. I keep repeating this, and I will keep repeating this. Hey, Big Pizza Pie. Hey, hello to our listeners, Elias, Bish Boy Steve, anybody else that's here. Give us a shout. Take part in the conversation. This team this year can make the playoffs earlier than expected if this power play kicks ass. I think it will. Just with the acquisition of Dobson and Bolduc, guys. Whether they're both on the second power play, you know how much they just boosted our special teams right now.
Insane.
But it's also like, guys, let's address something that's also super important. I heard a stat that was something on the lines of 85% of the even strength goals come from guys that are still on this team. And we got fucking better. I don't care what anybody says, but we got better 5-on-5. So special teams, okay, fine. The only thing, in my opinion, that might have gotten worse is the PK. The PK is going to be lost, and Monty is going to have to stand on his head, or Dobish is going to have to stand on his head a little bit when they're facing those shots, and maybe they're trying to find themselves. But there's no way, shape, or form that this power play is not better. That's one. And there's no way that the 5-on-5 is worse. We spent most of our season last year complaining about Armia and Dvorak for 5-on-5 play. Same thing for David Savard. These guys are gone. We got upgrades on every single one of them. And then we're saying, oh, they're gonna dip down. If this team is any bit disciplined, there is no freaking way we are taking a step back.
If Liney gets 55 goals this year, man, on his contract year too. But all that to say, guys, I had a great time going to the practice facility on Tuesday, and then so like I said, they were on one side of the ice, and then second half of the practice they came on the side that I was sitting at. And I have to share this. I have to share what I ended up capturing on my camera, and it actually went a bit viral, like on social media, that even other Habs pages were using the content that the Curfew Boys did. And it's just look at this shot from Ivan Demidov. Just look at this right here.
Look at his legs, always in motion. Let's go, boys. There you go. Beautiful.
Dobish didn't even see his stick move.
Dude, it's elite level right there.
So and poor Jakub Dobish doesn't nudge nothing. Mind you, he had Patrick Laine completely blocking his view. So I'll explain the play here. Is that the drill was? It's obviously a 3-on-2. It's 3-on-2, and then I think it was Demidov and his crew were on the defensive side, and then they switch. But when you switch, somebody from the offense has to get off the zone where the play is taking place, and it becomes a 3-on-2, right?
Right.
So here, I'll replay it. So you see Demidov's gonna throw the puck on the glass, and he's gonna be in the slot.
He almost hit you, Sammy.
That's me in the background. Like I freaked out, guys. Absolutely freaked out. The shot. It literally it went from off his stick, bar down skill, man. That like we have this video available on our Instagram page, on our Twitter page, even on our YouTube channel. And
what's it at right now? 150K.
So on Instagram, it got over 150,000 views.
Get in there.
It got shared all over. It got shared like crazy on Twitter, also known as X. And the guy, like, when that puck went in the zone, if you looked at all the players on the ice, when they all turn around and look to see the puck is in, they stop and they freeze within a moment. And I'm willing to bet every single dollar I no longer have in the bank that they're there thinking like, holy shit, how the fuck did he shoot that? How the heck did he shoot that? So it's, dude, I'm telling you, man, it's so exciting. And
He is
what I'm,
the most exciting prospect, and like if there's anybody with like the ceiling that he has with this work ethic.
Can we
I
see
was
back
I
to
was driving
back?
I was driving down to Bromont today for a client visit,
Mhm.
and I'm like getting giddy in the car listening to other. We love to support other Habs podcasts, and like they're talking about exactly this, that he's on the ice and that he's putting in this much time, and like fuck, the guy is so talented, but we're repeating ourselves like broken records. We talked about this 10 minutes ago, but it's hard to believe that this is the reality, that this guy is as dedicated as that to his craft. He's doing nothing but that. And if that's going to be the trajectory of his effort levels and what's to come, and it's going to be consistent, like we will not have seen. I know it's a
I
very.
don't know.
This is
I
going to be a
don't.
very ambitious statement, but like we're talking about Guy Lafleur, best talent since Guy Lafleur, with let's say Lane Hudson, and now especially Ivan Demidov. I like this guy will have a chance to, I think, break some records of a 100-plus-year organization. I really do. I really think this is like going to be
If
the game changer, the X factor, and this X factor won't fucking leave the ice.
I
Like
know
it's
he's
it's
gonna break some Kovalev record, and I'm gonna be so happy for him. Like,
Oh,
or
for
something.
sure.
Like he's gonna be he's probably gonna be the Russian-born player with most points in Montreal Canadiens history, like something like that. I'm going
Look,
off the deep end here, but there, like maybe he's gonna be our 90-point player. I want Suzuki there too, but imagine we have two of those, two 90-point players.
he's going to hit
we haven't
100.
we haven't
He's
seen
going to
that
hit
since the
100. Not this year,
late 90s with
but
like Danfus and maybe Pierre Turgeon. I don't remember if it was or Pierre Turgeon or like Mark Recchi. This is in the late
no,
90s.
it wasn't Reiki.
Or maybe Stefan Richer. It was around that time, anyways.
Yeah.
But
I
it's so exciting,
I'm
guys.
willing to bet. Okay, this is my bold prediction, but I'm willing to bet that he puts up Kucherov style points as long as he
Oh,
continues like
1,000%.
this.
I think
This
he
guy,
can.
I think that he can put like 120 plus points up.
Back-to-back Calder.
Don't guys, not this season, but give him when he hits like 23, 24. If this planet hasn't, God knows that's the type of sick joke that would be played on us. But as long as this planet doesn't blow up and doesn't go to shit, we will have an absolute dynasty. And it's not just going to be a whisper at the end of a podcast episode. We're going to have an absolute dynasty, and the most significant part is going to be Ivan Demidov and Lane Hudson and their insane work ethic, Crosby level work ethic.
Back-to-back Calder Trophy winners. All right,
when
guys.
was the last time that happened?
I don't think it's ever happened in Montreal Canadiens history. I don't know if it's happened
in hockey. I haven't seen it in hockey.
Oh, and well, within the same team, I really don't know. With the same work, I have no
once,
idea.
50 to 55 years ago. I'm not sure which team it was, but again, just a stat that I heard this morning.
Probably Toronto.
Excellent. Before we get to the main event of this episode, fellas, just want to thank our sponsors, Habs Cave. Big shout out to Sunil from Habs Cave, who's at the Lane Hudson event right now in Brossard. I mean, what can we say about Sunil, who's a big supporter of the Montreal Canadiens community and the community in general? Every person, every Habs fan's dream of having a man cave like the Habs Cave. Content with Montreal Canadiens memorabilia off the yin yang, like his. You guys know it. Go check him out, Habs Cave, on Instagram. Just take a look at pictures of his basement, and you'll freak out if you haven't seen it yet. So give our boy Sunil a follow, Habs Cave on Instagram. And last but not least, Mike's Barbecue Rub. My buddy Mike in RDP has his own Canadian company where he creates his own specialized barbecue spices. It could be used for meat, fish, chicken, vegetables. If you could put it on the barbecue, you definitely need to try Mike's Barbecue Rub. He's also the only one that uses his seasoning to put on his own kettle chips, which are delicious. give Mike a follow, a shout out. Mike's Barbecue Rub on Instagram, TikTok. He's also on Twitter, I believe. And visit his website, mikesbarbecuerub.com. Folks, no matter what, don't forget to rub your meat. Say it live on YouTube, exactly, and on Twitter, also known as X. Okay, so everybody, since we're going to wrap up the season with this episode, I figured there's no better opportunity than do like some kind of season recap here of the 2024-25 NHL season, specifically the Montreal Canadiens season. And, I just want to do the turn of the table with you guys, and we're going to go through, some of our favorite moments throughout the season. Could be the Montreal Canadiens. Could also be anything outside of the Montreal Canadiens, anywhere else around the league. So it could be any moment that you think is great. And then after, we're going to play a fun little game to wrap up the episode. So Zook, we'll start with you. Name
memorable moments.
Memorable moments. Some of your memorable or favorite moments of this past season. We're not ranking anything right now. Just whatever you can think of. We're going to do the turn. We're going to have the audience chip in as well. Mention it in the comments. What are some of your favorite moments?
I'm going to ease into this list because we could go forever with,
Yeah, no kidding.
with what we're about to talk about. But I'm going to start with the fact, if you all you listeners to our podcast, if you remember what I had said at the beginning of or the preseason of last season, what team would be not doing that well? That would be a shock and surprise.
Yeah.
That ultimately happened. Could we all say the word?
We are one of our most hated rivals in the NHL.
Boston Bruins sucking was one of my memorable moments. It's been a while, it's been a decade of them being a good team. Last year, them not making the playoffs really felt great, especially that I have my sister's husband's a huge fan, and I like to really stick it to him because he makes fun of the Canadians, and it is what it is. There's going to be another 5 years of crap for the Bruins.
So does this moment count as like both an NHL moment, but also a Montreal Canadiens moment? I think you could. I think
you could say that because many people dislike the Bruins. Right. So yes,
many Montreal Canadiens fans and Toronto Maple Leafs fans too. Well, but when it comes between those two, I'd rather pick the Bruins than the Leafs. So okay, all right, Zook, you start
that's easing in, right? So
the Bruins not making the playoffs. Okay, you did call it that they're gonna shit the bed this season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Cool. Chris.
Are we going around the league first, or are we talking
whichever you want. Whichever you want.
Fuck, I don't want to ease into this because there was a standalone moment. There were some great games. There were, some great moments, evidently, but there was a standalone moment where, like, I genuinely felt like a child again without a worry in the world and just pure pleasure, excitement, and like
J-word
losing my mind. And Ivan Demidov, first game, first goal, those 7 minutes. Those 7 minutes of him going from getting his first assist to legitimately, if you go back, it was essentially one of the first times. I think it was the first time he touched the puck, goes in, does this weird ankle shimmy. God knows how he even moves like that. Sends it to the front of the net, and Alex Newhook, for the love of God, who couldn't pot a goal, unfortunately, for a while, buries it. So it was just like double symbolic there. And then when you see Matheson behind the play, you hear the crowd start roaring. I was watching it. Sadly, I didn't hear Pierre Hood say it. I was watching it on Amazon Prime.
Dude, but they did a good job on that call too, man.
They did a good job, but you see it's focused on Mike Matheson behind the net. Ivan Demidov just got on because the crowd starts to roar. Puck gets sent the other way. We're already freaking out that he just got his first assist, and then the puck goes his way. Just a beautiful bit of hockey sense to skate up the ice and start going for it. And then the fake shot, quick backhand, tucks it in. I was losing my freaking mind. I remember us boys too. We all started to call. Even Joey in Korea is calling us and we're getting on. And we're
what the
hell is going on?
It's so true.
That was special. That I haven't felt like that. Like it it blew past the expectations of what his debut was going to be from the warm up, the crowd losing their mind for his rookie
Totally.
lap, to the
Yeah.
first moments he's touching the puck, to the first assist, and then a few minutes later the goal. That was one of the best feelings. I'd say up there with Lehkonen putting us through to the Stanley Cup final. Like the future
Okay.
was so bright in that moment.
Okay.
Anyways.
Amen.
Hey, I think that's everybody's probably favorite moment in the season. Is just that Ivan Demidov debut. You know, when you think of debuts within Montreal Canadiens history, like I think, dare I say his name, Ryan Poehling is up there. I mean, you know, a hat trick plus a shootout winner. But I think the difference between those two debuts is that like the Canadiens were making the playoffs when that happened, so they just wanted, and you know, there was no risk of playing Ryan Poehling at that time. Whereas this one, 5th overall pick, he fell in our hands when clearly he should have gone 2nd overall after Macklin Celebrini. Where we need a win to clinch playoff because it was the second last game of the season. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Bell Center get full for warm-up because of one rookie like that. Because mental, it was bananas. It was bananas. Like the entire arena was packed just to see this kid take a warm-up lap. It was insane. I've never seen that in all my years of watching the Canadiens, let alone watching hockey. I've never ever seen that. And he's wearing number 93. This is the best comment ever. And he wears number 93. 1,000%. Okay, my turn.
There's
another
another though.
Yeah. There's another what?
Well, Sam, you're up, but like I know you built upon the Demidov thing, but who's going to talk about the Josh Anderson bench brawl game 3 playoff?
Don't blow your load in one shot. Hold on.
It was gone on the Demidov. It was gone on the Demidov stuff over there.
Excuse the language, but hold on a sec. Just wait a minute. We still got a lot to cover. that sounded wrong too. Anyways, no, I am going to use. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with Jakub Dobej's shutout in his first NHL game against the Panthers. I think that was an absolute cool moment. And
I had that on my
and you know what? It's something because I truly I followed Jakub Dobej's stats a little bit when he was playing for Ohio State in college hockey. And throughout his last year, I was like really paying attention to him. And then once he signed to Laval, it's like, okay, now really pay attention. And just watching him start where he was as a pro up to where he was at that very moment, the level of progression is unbelievable. At one point, like you could see the raw potential he had, because he is big. He's a big goalie, right? But when he first started, like you could tell he didn't have his lateral movement under control exactly. And then the more games he played in Laval, when you play over 50 games in Laval, you're bound to get better. And that's exactly what happened. And then he started taking those games in Laval as a starter, especially when Primo was up with the Canadiens. And the Canadiens had the 3 goalie system going around until they traded Jake Allen. Like there was no way Primo was going back down, right? That's where Jakub Dobej really took advantage of it. And you could tell. And you just he's such. If there's somebody that's so confident yet is so humble about it too, it's definitely Jakub Dobej. And to do it against the Stanley Cup champions, okay? And that also, I'm trying to remember when that game happened within that road trip, but I don't know if that game sparked a bit of that winning streak against the last 4 Stanley Cup champions, if you remember.
It was after the holiday, so it was like January.
They beat the Panthers. They beat Vegas. They beat Tampa. And then Dobej back in nets against Colorado. Like he was brilliant that game too. So it's and look how much we love him. So that shutout, like he's definitely earned his spot. Whether it's a backup of Monty or eventually a backup of Jacob Fowler, whatever the future holds. Like and again, he's a good kid. He's another one of those guys. We're talking about Demidov and Lane Hudson and Patrick Laine being on the ice. Jakub Dobej is there, and he's training with the forwards and with the defensemen. Like, he's not getting any breaks. This kid's putting in the work too, man. So
he wants to make it, dude. He wants to make it.
1,000%. So let's keep this conversation going. Go, Zook. Bring in another favorite moment. There's all kinds that happened this year. So
yeah. Okay. So I would say one of these. It's also we're easing in because it's a nuanced thing, right? So I would say getting Carrier. Because you know what? That started to stabilize our back end at one point.
Okay.
Because we had the people that we had were playing before we got him. We had players playing outside of their role, if you will, because of the lack of the right hand, shot. These. Once we got him, the coaching staff was able to do the right matchups, if you will. And that really stabilized, I find, the team. And that's when, if you notice, we started to get on that
1,000%. You know what? It wasn't just a certain player's return, but bringing in Alexandre Carrier truly stabilized that back end. Yeah. We were too young and inexperienced in a sense, and we needed. I think you saw like the offense for us from the defense was coming from Lane Hudson, Mike Matheson, and maybe a bit of Caden Gooley, but you needed somebody else to kind of solidify that back end on defense. That's not only named David Savard. Unfortunately for Justin Barron, it just wasn't working for him. He's too offensive minded. They had to do it. And you bring in a guy that's slightly older, but not in his 30s yet. He still has like 5 years minimum experience in the league. 1,000%. I like that. I think that's an underrated.
That's it.
Moment that really turned the tables around. No, okay, I like that. Go, Chris.
Yeah.
Lining hat trick.
Yeah, Baya.
Forgot about that.
Baya.
Since I was going for the swinging for the fences over here, let me calm it down. That was still a pretty epic moment, though. I was so happy with that hat trick.
Yeah.
Mic drop with that.
Against the Sabres too. Against the Sabres too. Yeah, that was a testament, man. And like I think the ovation for him was like insane loud to the point where he freaked out. And he was saying, he's like, I don't deserve a standing ovation like that too. So no, that game was awesome to see. 1,000%. I'm gonna stick with Patrick Laine, and I'm gonna go with the him scoring a goal on his first game, his very first goal as a Montreal Canadian, coming back playing against the New York Islanders.
What a shot!
You know what I mean? Like, insane shot. I think it is definitely probably. I think it was one of the most anticipated returns of the season in some sense. Maybe something that we haven't seen in a while. You know, he got robbed of that opportunity in the preseason. We all know what happened. You know what? He was looking forward to coming out on the ice, home opener with his colleague, with his teammates, you know, getting his name chanted. I was there at the home opener, and imagine the guy was in crutches and he got a standing ovation. And you could tell he was trying to fight back tears to the point where like even Marty was standing like kind of behind him, patting him on the shoulders, because you saw it was a bit of an emotional moment for him, maybe even for Marty. Like after everything he'd been through, you know, had to ask for help in terms of his mental health issues that he had.
Coach.
He wanted to come back, and the fact he kind of got that opportunity robbed from him, and knock on wood that it doesn't happen again this season. Like there's no way anybody's going to tolerate that shit. But yeah, having him come back, and like you all know he has a shot. Probably him and Ovechkin in this league have the best shots, and like you see it on TV and you're like, yeah, of course he's gonna fucking pop that in at that left side. Insane. Yeah,
I didn't know it was that good. His shot.
No, dude, like his shot is.
But it's like at that position, he'll always score. He'll score probably 80% of the time at that
1,000%
position.
All right, let's go. All right.
Zook. Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, I guess since we're still on the Habs topic, I'm going to say Hudson winning the Calder.
Yes.
Since we're on it.
Yeah.
Just dude, being an ultimate beast, game in, game out.
1,000%.
Honestly, when he started the season, it's like, yeah, he's young. He's gonna take time. It's gonna take time for him to really develop. No, there's no time. He's only starting and he's already winning.
dude. I punched the air so hard I think I almost popped my shoulder off.
Oh man, I know that feeling.
Dude, undersized defenseman, and he had
Undersized,
the
yeah.
most points in the league as a rookie, and again ranked tied for 6th with most points amongst all defensemen. 3rd best defenseman amongst points behind Zach Werenski and Quinn Hughes. You know. What I mean, I'm still. I don't care what anybody says. Pardon me.
Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes?
No, amongst American defensemen. Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. No,
Right,
so
he's American.
amongst all defensemen, he was ranked 7th, but tied for 6th. I think it was just he was tied with the 66 points. Victor Hedman had the same amount of points, but obviously Hedman's going to have more goals than him.
Hedman, though. Wow.
Hedman, he's a beast. I always
Wow.
loved
So
Victor Hedman, but I'm still bitter about that. Lane Hudson didn't get the invitation. However, it's been reported that it doesn't mean he doesn't have a shot yet. Like he's not at the orientation camp, but it doesn't mean he can't get called at some point in time. Like if he tears it up, like from October to December, like Team USA would be mentally ill to not give him a call. So
right, which is okay. It's good to know that that's still possible.
It's. I mean, is it going to happen? I don't know. If he tears it up, maybe there's still a possibility.
So we were all, can I say the J word? We were all jizzing when Hudson,
1,000%.
When he showed the world how good he is. But I still think he has, if he improves, let's say 30%, his goal scoring.
His shot's getting better, dude.
His shots, his one-timer, because it wasn't bad, but it was just missing a bit of precision. If he gets 30% more precise and scores, another 10 goals or whatnot, then he's going to be a 90-point defenseman.
Oh, if he could score 10 goals, so probably if he 10 goals,
10,
like 60 assists, I think it's possible. If he's going to get all those assists on the power
play in his sophomore year, anyways.
Yeah.
So two things to that, Zook. If the team converted on half of the golden passes that he made, he would have already been at a 9-point rate. And when he finally gets to that point where he's maybe a little bit more selfish and trusting himself to take that shot rather than passing, he's going to get there. That's
but he causes deception like that. Do you remember that play against the Senators in Ottawa where he looks like he's going to try to wire it, fakes it, head pumps, sees Patrick Laine all alone open on the left side. Laine wired it, but he didn't even have to. The net was so wide open. Lane fooled the goalie. So
I don't think he's going to change that of his game, though. He's still going to have that deception, but I really 1,000% he's more selfish, and because he could do it. He did it at the college level. He would shoot a lot in the college level. I don't know if he did.
Dude. Of course he did. Yeah.
So if he could translate that to the NHL, I would be so ecstatic.
Anyways. Go, Chris.
You know what? I'll stick on the subject of Lane Hudson. End-to-end goal against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
What a play.
Of course.
What a play.
But of course. But a freaking course. That goal was...
There's one that better not get back to me. There's one that I know which one is my next one if you guys don't mention it, but I'm going to be pissed off.
But I think that goal was beautiful. There was another goal from Lane Hudson against the Senators again, where he's trying to cut in the middle, breaks, shimmies, cuts left again, comes in on the left circle and just far post and in. That was absolutely beautiful. But that Lane Hudson goal was, hey, listen, it was definitely worthy of a top 50 amongst in the NHL, top 50 goals.
Nice.
I'm going to go with goal number 4 in the top 50. I'm going with Cole Caulfield. In between the legs, Deke against the San Jose Sharks, Macklin Celebrini in overtime. That goal, man, I would have loved to have been in the building to see that goal. Like we talk about the Demidov goal, absolutely, the Lane Hudson end-to-end goal. I think if there's one goal, there's maybe another one. I'm curious to see if you guys are going to mention this other goal too. But that goal, for it to be ranked number 4. The 4th best or the 4th nicest goal in the NHL this season. The NHL slowly releasing top 50. Cole Caulfield's in between the legs. Deke was ranked at number 4. That was a thing of beauty, man. I love Macklin Celebrini. He's going to be a hell of a player, but Cole Caulfield completely humiliated him on that play. That was a bit of like a welcome to the NHL moment. So yeah, go Zook.
Is it that goal that you're speaking of? Is that the Mike Matheson goal?
No, that was last season. I think.
That was last season. Okay.
Against the Devils.
Sorry, yes, that OT took it on.
Where he kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that was last season.
That was last season. Okay,
that was a nice goal too, though. That was one.
Yeah, that was a nice goal too. Okay, yeah. So wait a second. Do I have? Okay, so I'm gonna shift gears here. So a memorable moment, I would say, would be Ovechkin beating Gretzky.
Yeah, in the NHL.
Milestone.
Yeah,
in the NHL,
1,000%.
That was
never thought it was going to happen.
It happened in our lifetime, right? So
can't believe it. Never thought we would ever see that in our lifetime. Yeah, 1,000% for sure. I like that, Chris.
It's tough, boys. We didn't get it, but happy to report Game 1. Shut out the Toronto Maple Leafs. Cole Caulfield opens up the scoring on the season. As for the Montreal Canadiens.
Sam was there.
Gets that like near 50 shutout.
Yeah.
And Montreal breaks Toronto's. It was like I think it was close to 300 games that they had not been shut out. Of course, we were the ones to do so. Like that was just
that's delicious.
So fitting. So fitting. So perfect. Okay, no, I like that. I didn't think of that. Okay. Game 3 playoffs at the Bell Center. Okay, Chris. Okay, I'm coming back to you. Game 3 at the Bell Center. Okay. I don't even remember when was the last time the Canadiens had a playoff home game at the Bell Center that was full. No COVID rules, no restrictions, nothing. I do not remember when's the last time it was. Okay, that's how long it's been. Okay, this is probably the series where the Canadiens lost to the Rangers. I think that was the last time. I don't know, but getting the playoff vibe again in this city, in that arena, probably one of the best things that could have happened to this young team as far as development is concerned, and to really see, hear, and feel what it's like to be an NHL player in the playoffs in the biggest hockey market on this planet. Like, I don't care if they lost the 4-1 series. That Game 3 was a statement to be like, listen, we're young. We still got a long way to go, but we ain't gonna like you could beat us, but we're not letting go of that ankle of yours. Like, we're digging our teeth in.
They weren't outplayed, I find.
I don't think they were. That bench brawl between Josh Anderson and Tom Wilson, I don't care. I love that old school type of hockey. That Beautiful. bench clearing brawl type of vibe. Like, you really think the crowd didn't get it? Like this, it was amazing. Arbor Jacki coming back, sending a message, even if it only worked for one game. I don't care. You know what I mean? Slavkovsky did not look like a rookie in his first playoff series.
No, he didn't.
He looked like he belonged. Obviously, there's still a lot of more work to do. You know what I mean? Jakub Dobeš went in there. Suzuki played amazing. Lane Hudson made a fool out of Ovechkin on one play. He lifted his stick, took the
God!
What a pass to Suzuki. Oh, Caulfield.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, just that whole playoff vibe back at the Bell Center for this young team.
It's what's to come, dude.
It's exactly what's to come. Yeah.
Jeff Molson said at the Liam Foundation golf tournament, Knuckles Island golf tournament, he said that was the loudest that he's ever seen the Bell Center.
Oh wow!
For a sustained period of time, for the entirety basically of a game. He said the closest, like he said, he heard the Bell Center get that loud when PK Subban came out of the box and scored the penalty breakaway. So that's Jeff Molson's opinion.
Sunil too said it, and he's like, that was the loudest. Yeah, that's so true. Absolutely. Okay, there's still a few more. Go. Let's try maybe another 2 more rounds.
Okay, it's me, right?
Yeah, it's you.
Trying to think here. Okay, one of them would be a memorable stat, if you will, would be for me. It would be Nick Suzuki being a point per game player for the first time in his career.
Yeah, okay, I like that. You know
That's
what,
important because we know what's
dude?
to come. He still has a lot more coming.
I think that game. I don't know if he did it against the Panthers where he tied it with a couple of seconds left, and then he ended up scoring the fake shot wraparound goal.
Wow.
I don't know if it was that game, but that game was a statement and a message from Nick Suzuki to everyone saying, if you still don't think I deserve to go play for Team Canada, well, here you go. Watch me play. And I'll add this. If you think I'm not a number one centerman in this league, well, yeah, 1,000%. I like that, Zook. I really do like that.
Can I add a little second chapter to that?
Go.
Also, the moment where he went to Habs management that says, "Don't trade anybody. We're going to make the playoffs."
Probably one of the most,
leader right there.
Probably one of the most underrated things that behind the scenes. Not that's not a trade. That's not a signing. Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. I love that.
I think we're gonna have to take another lap around the table potentially, but I'm gonna say game 82, qualifying for the playoffs. Caden Gooley, what a game by him. He stepped up.
I'm gonna say this
huge game on this.
Alberta beef. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Alberta beef. Watch episode 3 and maybe you'll understand. The Canadiens clinching 1,000%, Chris. That was on my list. I actually have cut pieces of paper here with everything, and
love it.
You'll know why, dude. 1,000% clinching.
Honorable mention: Josh Anderson beating the shit out of Jacob Trouba before he got traded to Anaheim.
Oh, if you want to go there,
after Trouba.
Yeah, after Trouba hit Justin Barron, dude, I want to say Arbor Jacki beating up Matt Rempe. Yeah, that's in terms of fights. Absolutely no. I'm gonna go across the NHL. I'm gonna just step off a bit of the Montreal Canadiens and go towards the NHL. Canada versus USA at this World Cup tournament.
Right. God, shame on us for not mentioning that.
Dude, right. I'm having an internal debate if it's two different moments, because the first game, those 3 fights in 9 seconds, I think could be a moment of its own. But then even them winning it and the torch being passed to Connor McDavid, I don't know if I'm doing a 2-for-1 over here, but I think we obviously mentioned the Canada versus USA games, the fights and everything, but the whole tournament in general, like I was at the game Sweden versus Finland, like they're a rivalry of their own. They weren't going through a little bit of a political game of cat and mouse with Canada and the United States, so I don't think the intensity it wasn't as like heated, if I could use that term correctly. But I was at the Finland versus Sweden game, and it was insane. The level of talent all on one ice in one team, well, in 2 teams for 2 different countries. The level, it was, I've never been so happy to see, and it's the first time, first of all, I'm seeing any international hockey game. The first time in my life.
True.
So being able to see, and I have so many guys within Sweden and Finland that are one of my favorite players. There's obviously Barkov, but in Sweden, like I love Philip Forsberg. I love Rasmus Dahlin. You know, I mean, like Finland, who else? Well, we saw Patrick Laine there. My goodness, for Sweden, Leo Carlson didn't play, but I'm telling you, man, he's going to be a hell of a player. I just mentioned Rasmus Dahlin, but the poor guy's being wasted in Buffalo. I would like it's shameful. It's shameful that a guy like him, a defenseman of his caliber, is in Buffalo. But honestly, the NHL deserves a major pat on the back again for bringing in that tournament. Hopefully, it leads to other things. The Olympics coming up is going to be amazing, and you know, that tournament really put at least the NHL and hockey on the map. So, hope they need to continue that momentum. Go Zook. We could do one more round of the tables here.
You said my last one that I had was the Four Nations.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there? Okay, well, I would
wanna...
say the Toronto Maple Leafs not going further than the second round for another time,
That's good.
and that they'll never
I like
surpass
that.
that.
I
That's
like.
the it's the unforeseen barrier that they can't
I just
pass.
I just love that it was Brad Marchand that just hurt them once again. Him and Sam Bennett. It's just it's so beautiful. It was beautiful. I
Oh
like that.
yes.
Yeah, 1,000%. Go, Chris.
Um, my last one is again going to be a team victory.
Mm-hmm.
Again, April 3rd against the Boston Bruins. I can't remember the last time other than Caden Gooley winning it for us in overtime, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of seasons ago or a season ago. We haven't
Yeah.
been very hot against Boston
It's
for a
true.
long time. I feel as though, especially in the Koivu Kovalev era and then even the Camilleri Gianta era, we
Mm-hmm.
just took it to the Bruins time and time and time again. And it feels as though it's been like 3 to 5 years where we really, really, really haven't had anything against the Bruins. I'm tired of losing against them.
Yeah.
They really, 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 you know, had a long string of luck, and I think it was the changing of the winds kind of that that you mentioned earlier on, Zook. But it was just such a satisfying victory. I hate Boston. I hate Toronto. It's kind of been a good balance between Toronto and Montreal. Like
Mm-hmm.
taking the wins, but it felt like forever since we really outclassed the Boston Bruins, and April 3rd was that day.
Just want to say shout out to Joseph for saying, "Hey guys, hello Joseph, thanks for tuning in." I like that, Chris. I do too. You know, it's always fun when we beat our rivals, right? I'll end it on this: the Montreal Canadiens trading 2 first-round picks
Hmm.
and Emil
Right.
Heineman for Noah Dobson.
There you go.
I'm going to go with that one because I think that was at top it all off, signing him to the extension that they did. I think that was I think it was another statement from Kent Hughes and management being like, yeah, we're in the rebuild, but we're also we're entering that next step to make this team better, especially on the defense. And you could kind of say that maybe that opened the floodgates to acquire Zach Bolduc. I think everybody, even Logan Mailloux, knew that when Dobson was coming, his time was numbered, unfortunately.
You're right.
So I say acquiring Dobson, but we could also extend that to off-season acquisition via trades of Dobson and Bolduc. That's really, and even signing free agents like these veterans to maybe help this team, at least help the guys on the Val. A little bit of sidetrack. Bishop Boy Steve, do you guys think Owen Beck can make the roster next year?
No.
Ooh, I not yet. He's definitely going to be. I think amongst the call-ups between forwards, it's going to be between him and Jack-Eye if they both continue. But I definitely see he was a call-up last year, got his first career point. I could see that definitely happening again. I also want to say another moment, real quick, around the NHL that maybe honorary mention: Marc-Andre Fleury getting a shutout at the Bell Center in his last game at home in his career. I think that was a pretty cool moment. Okay, so this game, guys, we're gonna slowly wrap the episode, but our last segment here, I really want to do this game called Blind Rankings, and I gotta give a big shout out to the boys at Empty Netters. They play this game a lot in their shows, Blind Rankings. So obviously, we're going to stick with the topic of our favorite Montreal Canadian moments throughout the season, but we didn't really rank them yet. But we're going to do it blind. So, like I said, I had all these paper cutouts. Like we mentioned all these moments. I had every single one of them cut out. I'm putting them in a hat. I'm going to draw them out of a hat. When I name them, it could be Zook and Chris. You guys debate where do you rank these between 1 and 5. 1 being the best, 5 being your least favorite. Okay.
We're doing 2 rounds because we named a lot of different things. So we
just one round. It's just one round. Go look at empty netters the way. So this is why you got to because you don't know what's going to be called next, right? So this is why. And anybody that's the audience members that are here, I want you guys rank these as well. Okay, like I have these in a hat. It's a Toronto Blue Jays hat. Maybe they're on a hot streak. Maybe or maybe I cursed them right now. Just pick. Okay, first one, guys. Ivan Demidov debut against Chicago. Where are we ranking this?
3.
Are you insane? 3? You're ranking this a number 3? Really?
Top 3 is massive in my opinion, especially on a list of 5.
How do you not have this at number
that we just talked about?
How do you not have this as number 1? This is number 1, dude.
How does that surpass the Habs making the playoffs?
It's a good point. Good question. Go, Chris. Go.
Of course.
But the emotion
I get
in
it.
that moment,
I get it.
It was special to make the playoffs, but just to know that the future has arrived and to get it surpassed all levels of excitement that were already extremely high.
Okay.
Even those moments where you're telling your girlfriend before the game, oh my God, this incredible prospect, please look anytime you see number 93 on the ice, and it was just so far past expectations. It was number 1. I don't think it's
Joseph.
If Sammy were to read through. If we had to do a ranking of every single one of the things that we rated, this is my number 1 locked in, no argument.
Okay, but
I edit.
I'm
gonna edit mine second. Okay, next.
Okay, wait. Okay, we have to agree though, guys. It has to be. Are we going with
first?
2? Are we going with 2? Are you comfortable with 2, Chris?
I can't.
Oh, we got to pick.
I'm being
we got to.
Heart.
Okay, you know what? I'm okay. But again, because if we don't pick it, I see what Zook. I'm okay with being number 2, but not 3.
Should we have our own respective lists? Can we have our own respective lists?
We have to do it together. This is a team bonding exercise.
Okay, so then, I don't think it should be any place other than number 1. I think this supersedes every single one. But if you're going to talk about maybe game 3. And you're going to talk about also clinching the playoffs. There's an argument to be made. Let's put it at number 2.
Okay, perfect. Number 2. Next one.
Logic.
Next one.
Zook.
Patrick Laine hat trick versus the Sabres.
I'm going to say 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 5. The hat trick. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you know what? If I don't fully agree, but Chris, because you don't agree with number 2, okay, we'll put him at number 5. Okay, fine, fair enough. Okay, next one.
And you know what? Because we debated the first one, I will say this: the reason why I would go number 5, the hat trick was very, very special. But I can guarantee you, I was almost tearing up when Patrick Laine got his first goal. So his first goal was already something that was better than the hat trick, and that in itself qualifies.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm sold. I'm sold that. Lane Hudson, Calder Trophy winner. Oof. I'm going 3 on. I think I got to go 3 on this one because it hasn't happened since Ken Dryden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Brendan Gallagher was the last one to get nominated, and then Michael Ryder before him back in 2002. So we're good with 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
So
okay.
4 and 1 remain. It's 4 and 1.
4 and 1. So we got 2 more. Okay. Okay. I swear to God, guys, I'm not looking. Patrick Laine's return, his goal against the Islanders. I
guess I gave the argument before.
This is definitely 4. So whoever we pick next is going number 1. So you better hope and pray I pick something that has to do with the playoffs. You better hope and pray. Oh man, I don't think it's gonna be
the Canada US could also. There's a case.
I only put Montreal Canadiens stuff. I only put Montreal Canadiens. Okay, here we go. Oh shit. Jakob Dobe shutout against the Panthers. That's number one. Okay. You know what?
The game, bro.
I would be okay. Okay? You know what? Jakob Dobish as your number one blind ranking. Probably not, but I'm good with these top three though. I'm good with Dobish debut, Dobish debut, Demidov debut, and Lane Hudson winning the Calder. I'm actually happy with those being the top three.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So there you go. The first
Curfew Boys debut actually started, the good trend of the Montreal Canadiens. He was confident, solid in his first games.
Yeah,
that's when we started winning again, right? We were last place the month before.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true. So
it's not a bad. It's not a bad top three, like you just said. So cool.
Well, they're the very first blind rankings by the Curfew Boys.
I liked it.
This is fun. The guys and honestly, I give full credit. There's lots of podcasts out there that do this, but in terms of hockey, it's the guys at Empty Netters that do this a lot, and I really thank them for inspiring us to try this game the first time ever on the Curfew Boys, and I hope it's something that we continue to do in honor of the guys from the Empty Netters.
Why not?
Podcast. So, guys, it's the end of season 5.
You're
5
hating
seasons
us, bro.
in, and then in a couple of weeks, the training camp's going to start, and that's our cue to start a brand new season of the Curfew Boys podcast on YouTube and all these other platforms that we're on, the X or Twitter. Anything else? We're also obviously all available on TikTok, Instagram, where we're most active. I'm super psyched, man. I'm super psyched. One last comment, Curtis. The Habs power play was ranked higher in percentage before Laine returned. It fell as the season progressed. Maybe, but let's be honest. Without Patrick Laine's power play goals, some of those games we probably wouldn't have won. I mean, I know there's stats and all that. People look at advanced stats, but you got to look at the bigger picture here. So.
Yeah. The other thing too is that at the beginning of the season, a lot of teams haven't yet figured out their game. There's a higher number of goals. Like that's just a natural course. Of things that happen.
But now that you have Demidov and Noah Dobson and Zachary Bolduc coming into the mix, we are going to be dangerous. I'm so
it's going to make things more unpredictable, right?
I keep repeating over and over. I'm beyond excited. Like we get lots of comments from followers that have been following the Canadiens for like 40 years, 30 years on, and they're like, they obviously got to witness the Patrick Waugh era of both cups, and they all say the same things. Like, I haven't been this excited for my Montreal Canadiens team since those days, and it's got to mean something. There's got to be some value to that too, and even for us that like we were too young when 1993 happened.
I was not conscious.
Are you still conscious now?
I'm starting, yeah. I'm awakening.
We're stoked, man. Like it's the end of August, and there's already that hockey buzz in the air in the city. It's beautiful, guys. I want to thank you all for the long-lasting support since we started this podcast back in the COVID season. 5 seasons have been completed. We are starting a 6th one. To the OG followers, you guys know who you are. To the new ones that have tuned in maybe within this past season, a couple of seasons ago, you guys are the real ones too. Everybody that has come onto our shows, commented on some of our content, shot us some messages, DMs, whatever you want to call it. We thank you all from the bottom of our heart. I know I could speak for Zook and Chris here, but I also speak for Anthony, Adri, and Joey. They feel the love too. And you know what? We say this every season, but we're just getting started. But like the more this team progresses, so does this podcast. And we couldn't be happier doing this. It's a passion project of ours, like this number one sport that we love and rooting for the number one team in the sport that we love. And we plan on continuing on doing this thing until we can no longer speak or see or anything else.
Amen.
So you know what? To everybody that took part in the conversations, Joseph, Curtis, Bish Boy Steve, Big Pizza Pie, Elias, guys, thank you so much. To everybody else that tuned in, thank you on YouTube or Twitter. Please click like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Tell your friends out there. Go Habs, go. Let's get this community even bigger. than what it was last season. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow us as well on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Anything else out there that I'm forgetting? Any podcast platform? Podcast platforms, definitely Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yeah.
A big thank you to our sponsors one last time. Haps Cave, Mike's Barbecue Rub. They give them a follow on Instagram or on TikTok. These are fantastic people that you want to follow. Zook, Chris, enjoy the end of August. Fall is slowly approaching, and you both know what that means. We'll take a little break, and we will be back to start a brand new season when the Canadiens fully hit the ice to begin their brand new season. And I just can't wait. Until then, bye now. Good night.
Jesse.